Fine, I heard you. You guys aren't happy, I bought an iPhone. That's okay. How about we take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra? Will that make you happy? To be very clear, I'm actually pretty excited to take a look at this thing because of the display on it. This phone is boasting the world's first privacy display on mobile. I kind of want to see it in action and see how well it works. Let's open it up here. That's all you get. Is there a cable, please? I was gonna be like, man, the fastest unboxing ever. Oh, hold on. Okay, good. We do still get a cable. At least they haven't fully taken everything from us yet. I want to see how long, this does not look like a very long cable though. It's probably about 3 feet, something like that. Definitely not the longest cable we've seen with phones. Man, these phone unboxings are real quick because that was it. We're straight into the phone here. Oh, gotta do our peel. Oh, yeah. Man, I'm gonna be bringing out my phone a lot to do comparisons to in terms of just weight and overall feel. I'm actually quite impressed. It is a little bit thinner than their S25, and it in turn means it's a little bit lighter. And in our case, we got the, what color is this? They call this the Cobalt Violet. When it catches the light, it actually looks like kind of cool. I like the looks of it. What I don't like, oh man, if you've seen me unbox phones, you know this. I am a freaking camera bump hater. And that is a whole other phone as far as I'm concerned on top. Look, oh my goodness, can you see like how much this thing is gonna rock when you lay it down, dude? I guess while we're looking at the rest of the outside, let's go all the way around here. So on our right side, you've got our power and our volume rockers right there. On the bottom, you've got your SIM tray, one of your speakers, your USB-C, and yay, the stylus, which, listen, I've heard there's some drama around and I need to verify this. I don't believe it has Bluetooth this year. That's gonna be a real downer for me. When I used to have my Note, I had a Note 20 back in the day. I used my pen as like a camera remote. So you could set up your phone as your camera, you just take the pen out, you go and get in your group photo and you're like, cheese, and you could take the photo. It was the coolest thing ever. Removing Bluetooth seems like an unnecessary change, but oh crap, does it only go in one way? Oh, it does. Why would they do that? That seems so dumb. So you can see the tip here is slightly curved to match the curve of the phone. And that is why you can only put it in one direction. It's pretty basic around the outside. I mean, I don't know what you really expect unless you're getting like a Red Magic phone or something that's got like liquid cooling. All phones are kind of pretty basic. But let's power this thing on because I am really interested in seeing that display. Before I turn on the privacy settings of the display, let's talk about the specs of the display. This is a 6.9-inch AMOLED 2X screen. It's featuring the Corning Gorilla Armor 2, so you know, hopefully it'll stay nice and protected. We'll find out later. I'm not gonna drop it though. We'll see if it can survive my tests today. The resolution itself, it is 3120 by 1440, and the refresh rate can go all the way down to 1 Hertz and all the way up to a 120 Hertz that you would expect on a premium flagship phone like this. The 1 Hertz is really, really nice. For example, if you just have this laying on your bedside table, not really doing anything, basically just displaying the clock, being able to go all the way down to 1 Hertz will probably last you all night with 0 battery drain or very minimal battery drain, which is awesome. I mean, unless your notifications are lighting it up all the time. Okay, I need to see this privacy. Where the heck do I go to turn this on? Oh, it's right there. Right away from the control panel drop down. Oh, you can see it does a little flash. Okay, let's. Whoa. Holy crap, this works so much better than how much do I have to turn roughly? Like 45 degrees? And you guys basically can't see it at all. Dude, that's pretty cool. I want to crank the brightness up though. Because if I turn the brightness up, does it make it easier? Wow, it's about the same, maybe a little bit more in order to fully get blacked out so you guys don't see it. We'll do one without privacy. This is still max brightness. It's kind of blowing out the camera a little bit, but it gives you an idea. From the top down, it looks like I'm just like lowering the brightness, right? But I'm not. Oh, that wasn't even maximum. There's an option to turn maximum privacy protection. Whoa. It's way harder to see when it's just on the default privacy display, so not the maximum. If there's really contrasty images, I think it's a little bit easier to see that contrast when I'm on the angle. But if I turn on the maximum privacy protection, you can see it kind of almost, I don't want to say it gives it like a balanced gray tone to everything. You can see that like all of it starts to kind of dim equally versus you can kind of still see some hot spots like the volume slider. It's very, very subtle, but there is a difference in it, and it's quite a difference if you are really looking for it. Holy crap, the screen is bright. It's 2600 nits, which our labs did confirm they were able to hit. That is a bright screen. Outdoor use, no issue with that. That's actually not the dimmest I've seen on a phone. Maybe I should turn on adaptive. Oh, never mind. Holy crap, I can't see it now. Where's the... Holy cow, that got so dim I was struggling to find the brightness slider to turn it back up. I take back what I said by it's not the dimmest display I've ever seen. That is on right now. Before I actually go watch a video, I've just been informed that apparently if you toggle the privacy display really close to your eyes, you might actually be able to see some of the pixel shifting. We have a whole article on lttlabs.com that explains kind of how this privacy display works. So I'm not gonna go too much into it today. Let's watch a YouTube video. I wanna see what it looks like here. But maybe before we watch a YouTube video, because I gotta connect to the internet, I might as well hit my mandatory talking points by Dbrand. They sent over one of their Prism screen protectors for the S26 Ultra, and I'm actually really interested to see if they managed to make it work with the privacy display. So we might as well just put it on and find out. I almost did it upside down. Then immediately swipe along. Oh shit, I did not. Said immediately, I was reading the instructions. Oh no. Wait 5 seconds. Remove the tray by peeling from the top. Oh, it's peeling. Oh yeah, I can see air bubbles, which isn't good because that's me applying it very poorly. You will likely notice bubbles. Oh, never mind. No, we're good. We're good. Okay. Don't panic. Use the included squeegee to sweep them out. This is very satisfying. I kind of want to leave an air bubble and just like play with it. Okay, we're done. Dbrand. Okay, let's turn it back on. Let's make sure it works with the privacy setting. It's gonna be really embarrassing if it doesn't, Dbrand. Yeah, it works. I don't know why it wouldn't. It's a piece of clear glass. They also sent over their grip, ghost, and tank case. I'm gonna try all three of them, and then whichever one I like the most, I'll keep on it. Let's start with the tank. Jesus, that's loud. Holy. But it's probably like, yep, it's pretty durable. Some would say it's a tank. Then there's the tank case. Just look at it, would ya? She's a beast. That was the line they wanted me to say. See, the ghost case is actually kind of nice because it's got the magnet built in, because this phone does have wireless charging, but they didn't include any magnets with this one. So, hey, there you go. If you want a magnet to mount it in your car or on a computer shelf or something, or drop it. And Dbrand's ghost cases don't turn yellow like traditional clear cases, so that way you can see your pretty colors. Kind of nice. I got one more case to try though. Last but not least, the grip case. This is the one I actually use on my phone, just not with the ShortCircuit skin. As the name suggests, it's really grippy in the hands. Plus, with this one, you can put any of their stickers on the back. In this case, we have the glow circuit skin. It glows in the freaking dark, dude. If you pick up any of the cases that we saw today and you bundle it with the screen protectors, you can save 15% off that bundle by visiting mybossisveryshort.com. I miss having a proper keyboard. That was one of my biggest complaints about the iPhone, is the keyboard on it sucks ass. Immediately typing on this thing, I kind of miss a full-size Android keyboard and individual volume slider. Oh man, okay. Now that I have another Android in my hand, I'm like falling back in love. No, stick with the iPhone. Stay strong. Again, it's a 1440p screen. Like, it's a lot of pixels in there. Dude, I'm 6x zoomed into this video and it still looks freaking incredible. I'm gonna probably blind the camera, but I want to test full brightness. Hey, are you looking at my screen? Don't look at my screen. See, this is where you can kind of see it again. I think when you have the really contrasty images, you can kind of tell that something is on the screen. Let's go to maximum privacy here. It's a lot harder to see, but again, I'm on full brightness. And yeah, it definitely gives it like a gray tint. If you guys look straight on at it now, when you're on maximum privacy, it shifts like the whole color tone of the display. So you gotta really be wanting to hide what you're looking at if you're willing to give up kind of accurate colors. Because watching content on this looks kind of washed out and pee-pee poo-poo. I don't really like it. But again, if you're really trying to hide what you're looking at, then good for you, I guess. As they make phones thinner and thinner, I get more and more worried about speaker quality in them. You can only make them so good when the device is so thin. Let's see if Samsung compromised on the speakers. Those sound like ass on full volume, especially the bottom speaker. I'm hearing the bottom speaker the most as like giving me the most issue. It sounds like sand is in the speaker. Am I actually at the beach with these crabs? Like, it actually sounds like there's sand in there. I'm gonna turn it down like quite a lot. Go like 50%. No, it's still there. That's actually a real bummer. Samsung is still putting their 200 megapixel flagship camera in this bad boy. They have a 50 megapixel ultra wide, and this is where it's weird. They have two telephoto lenses. They have one 50 megapixel one and one 10 megapixel one. And then on the front, they have their 12 megapixel camera, which is the hole punch design. It looks so out of place. Again, to be fair, if we're gonna compare it to a frickin' iPhone, obviously the iPhone has the frickin' massive island at the top, but at least they kind of own it, I guess, instead of just the hole punch. I don't know, I've always not been a fan when phones started going towards these just kind of chunks taken out of it. Red Magic is the only one I've seen do a really good under-screen camera. You know what? Maybe I can suck it up if the camera quality is good. Selfie. Holy crap, no one should ever take a look at that photo again. That's new team's profile picture, unlocked. It looks really good though. In detail, look at that hair. Holy cow, you can get individual strands of hair. And then just the dead in my eyes. Jesus. Okay, anyway, sorry. I'm honestly pretty impressed with that as a selfie camera. That's a very, very good selfie camera. Okay, let's look at the rear camera. Let's do just an ultra wide photo of our kitchen set. Now, one thing I will say is it does look a little washed out, but I can't tell if that's because of the lighting in this room or the camera. I mean, theoretically, the lighting in this room is really, really good, but that lamp is not that color in person when I'm looking at it. It's more of a lighter orange. This gives off more of like a Sunny D orange, right? So I don't know if it's their processing or the lighting, but maybe we should try one of their other like telephoto lenses. Oh, the ultra wide. Again, it's hard to tell with the lighting, but this almost comes across as like a brown red versus the actual color of it. I'm not sure what they're doing to their processing on this. Whoa. It had some weird jello effect there. I don't know if you saw that. Oh, it's trying to stabilize for me. Oh, because this camera has the, oh my God, I almost forgot. It has the video horizontal lock thing. Oh, how did I forget about that? Okay, how do I turn that on? Okay, I'm gonna try to take a video and I'm gonna spin the camera and then we're gonna play the video back. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Turn it back. Turn it this way. We'll turn it back. Okay. Whoa. What? That's pretty cool, man. If anybody has this phone and they're filming a fight, you better film with this, because I'm so tired of seeing like shaky cam for fights. Okay, hold on. Pushing it to its limits. I'm doing a 360. It's gonna be a little weird because obviously I think I'm gonna have some axis tilt because I'm like spinning it. Whoa! Dude, that's so cool. Okay, hold on, I gotta throw it now. Okay, hold on. Hold on. No, hold on, it'll be fine. Ready? Check this out.
Oh, that was a cool hit.
We gotta end it where it starts. That's one thing I do know about it.
Yeah, you can
Wow!
You can see the motion.
What happens if you don't finish it the way that you started?
That's a good point. Yeah, they tell you have to finish shooting it kind of the way you start. So I'm gonna start filming. I'm gonna be like, oh man, this is a cool feature. Blah, 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 end. No, it didn't. It still locked it. Dude, that's pretty cool. Does it do it on the selfie cam? No, maybe I gotta try it on the selfie cam. No, the option disappears the moment you try the selfie cam. So it's only the rear camera. I don't know. I still think that's a really, really cool feature. I guess while Genshin Impact is installing, we should go over the rest of the specs in the phone. It is Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy, which means it's boosted a little bit higher than just the standard Snapdragon 8 Elite 5. It's an octa-core processor and it can boost up to 4.74 gigahertz. Our model here has 256 gigs of storage and 12 gigabytes of RAM. You can equip it all the way up to 16 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. So when you get into our labs numbers a little bit later, keep in mind that we only had 12 gigs of RAM, but it's a freaking phone, man. I think we're so spoiled, and especially with the RAM apocalypse now, 12 gigs is probably fine for me to play Genshin Impact. Whoa, are you trying to zoom in? Excuse me. Don't make me activate my privacy display. Alrighty, now that I'm running around Genshin here, I guess I should talk about some of our labs results. In terms of performance, the CPU was basically the exact same as our OnePlus 15. We compared this phone against the OnePlus 15 and the iPhone 17 Pro. In multi-core is where this phone outperformed the iPhone though. In single core, they were basically the exact same. As for GPU, it was basically just better than the iPhone, but so is the OnePlus. So I don't know what that 4 Galaxy tag is actually doing, but it's not giving it that much of a performance boost. We did also do some stress testing on this, and it did perform up to 34% better than the iPhone 17 Pro, and about 5% better than the OnePlus 15. But you guys will notice by this graph that it kind of gradually gets worse over time. And that's because I can tell you firsthand, this device is really hot in my hand. It's thermal throttling, ultimately bringing down your performance, whether it's in game or some other heavy demanding task. And I actually am noticing that as I'm running around Genshin here, the device is quite warm and I'm occasionally noticing a little hitch in my gameplay. I'm definitely not staying at a 120 hertz. Oh, you see that one was really bad, but it's definitely getting hot. On to some more testing. Like I mentioned earlier about the display brightness, we actually exceeded the 2600 nits that Samsung claims. We got almost 3000. Why are you underselling yourself, Samsung? And finally, on our battery tests, this device lasted longer than the iPhone 17 Pro. It has a 5000 milliamp hour battery in here, and during our video playback, we saw almost 29 hours of video playback. That is a lot. Like that seems like overkill for most people probably. You're not gonna watch a video on it for 29 hours straight. But in my opinion, the most impressive thing about the battery is actually the charge time. From 0 to 100, it was 67 minutes. But what's even crazier is to get to 50%, it was 18 minutes. You plug this thing in when you go have a quick shower or you're making a quick meal, you basically have a full battery or enough to get you through the day. That is quite impressive. But as for the rest of the device, going back to the screen issue, I actually noticed on Twitter that a lot of people had some questions about it. Apparently, Samsung was telling some creators that it is a 10-bit display, but other creators were confirming that it was an 8-bit display. I'm not really sure on the language of that. We didn't get to fully test if it was 8-bit or 10-bit, but if Samsung's claiming it's 10-bit and it's 8-bit, it's a little scummy, a little sketchy in my opinion. And the display feature is really cool, the privacy is sick, but the rest of the phone just kind of feels underwhelming for an Ultra. This is their flagship. I don't know, it doesn't feel as special as like the Note did back in the day, right? The Note 20, the Note 9, those were goated phones. Maybe I just missed the Note. Maybe that's the conclusion to this. Am I gonna switch from my iPhone to this? Probably not, Samsung. You're gonna have to try again. I'm sorry. It's a good phone. Anybody who buys this would probably be happy. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, maybe go back and check out any of the Red Magic phones that I've unboxed on this channel. Those ones are special because they feature women, which I would probably need the privacy display for. So Red Magic, get on it.